Guys, we're going to talk about graphing a line in this video, just reminding us how we graph a line. All lines that we will want to be graphing, we move down here to the bottom of this. All of them are going to be in this form. That's what we want to get to. So if we have any in standard form, we're going to move the AX over, change its sign, divide by B. But a lot of our first six, I think we're going to start out like this green one over here. So in the green one, we know 0, comma B. That is our y-intercept. That's the first point we're going to plot. And we know that our M is our rise over our run. So this is our up or down, depending on if it's positive or negative, or right if it's positive, left if it's negative. Okay, so that's where we're going to start out. So all of our equations will start in this format. The first six will. Then the next four will switch over to this format. And we'll do a little extra step there. And then at the very end, I'll show you how this connects up with solving equations, and in solving equations, how it connects to solving a systems of equation at the very end of the video. Okay. All righty, let's go back and get started on that number one. So here's number one in blue, and we can look at this and go, okay, so the B is 0, 4. So I'm going to go down to here, up to 4. That's going to be my B. That's my y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. And then my M, -1, because it's a -1 in front of x. And then if it's a whole number, you always put it over 1. Okay, if it's a fraction, you just write the fraction down there. So -1 over 1 means down 1, right 1, because the negative is with the top number. So down 1, right 1. And the point we're now going to plot is called this green point. That's called the x-intercept. So we just continue down 1, right 1, and some of you have now caught on that it's the diagonal point through there. So you can just do the diagonal on this because it's only 1 and 1. So that was down 1, right 1, or up 1, left 1. And there's our line. We now draw. There it is. Sorry for the bell. Part of being at school making videos. All right, let's look at number 2. If you want, take out a sheet of paper, draw out your own XY, pause it, see if you can graph this at any time. So B this time, 0, -6, so that's down here. And then our M, the number in front of X is 2, and we're going to put that over 1. So we want to rise over a run. So up 2, right 1. So that I went up and right and put a point. So I'm going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. A good practice is do it as far as your graph will let you. Hopefully you have graph paper and doing this on it, not just free-handed it on some notebook paper. But if that's all you got, do the best you can. Go down 2, left 1, down 2, left 1. Can't really get to that one just yet, so let's go down 2, left 1. And there's our line that I'm free-handing. I would rather have a ruler when I'm doing that. Or I can always choose the line tool and then draw it using a line tool, which the lines are a little straighter when you do that. And we can see over here, I could draw this line tool and make it a little straighter. Okay. Good things to have. If you have a line tool that I have up here, use it. Okay. All right, let's go down here to number 3. Again, smart thing to do anytime I'm making a video, a very good thing for a person watching it to do. Hit pause. Maybe you try to do these 2, and then you see if I did it right. Or I would only do it one at a time. So B in this case, delete you. We don't want that. B in this case is 0, 3, and M 1 over 2 now, but it's negative 1 over 2, so don't forget that. So there's a negative sign up here. Negative 1 over positive 2. So up to 3, down 1, right 2, because it's negative 1, positive 2. And again, we're going to have an x-intercept, so I'm going to make it a different color, just so you can see. You got your y-intercept, where your line crosses the x-axis, called the x-intercept. You just go until you can't go anymore. So down 1, right 2, or up 1, left 2. 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 You could write the coordinates of these points if you want. You would see a pattern holding true, which would be great to do. So again, I'm going to freehand just to save us a little bit of time on the video. But if you use the line tool or use the other. So this time B is not negative, but it's 0, negative 5, because it was minus 5. And my M is positive 3 over 4. So go down to negative 5. Now I go up 3, 1, 2, 3, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1, 2, 3, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I need to move over some. So let's come back 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I try to go up 1, 2, 3, right, 1, 2, I can't go over anymore. So that's my last point I'm going to put going that way. So let's go down 1, 2, 3, down to negative 8 from negative 5. So down 3. Then let's go back 4 to negative 4. And I can't go down 3 again because I'm at 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can't get there. So these are my 4 points. Draw your line. And that's how we're graphing again. Y equals mx plus b. So here, see, I got a lot of space because I want to do some more stuff on this one. Let's see if that's enough. Looks to be about enough. We'll get over to this one in just a second. Here I got negative 2x plus 8. So I got 0, 8, and then my slope, negative 2 over positive 1. I always put the negative sign with the top number. So go up to 8. Now go down to right 1. Down to right 1. Down to right 1. Down to right 1. So we do have another x-intercept. You'll notice I didn't do that on the last one because it didn't hit right at a coordinate. Down to right 1. It doesn't mean it doesn't have an x-intercept. Just means it wasn't a nice point. So down to right 1. Down to right 1. Down to right 1. Down to right 1. So we can do the direct opposite, up to left 1. So here we have a line that I freehanded. So here you have 1/3 x, y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So see if you can graph it. I'm going to graph it in 2 places. So 0, negative 2, that's down here. And then 1/3, m is 1 over 3. So that's a rise of 1 and a run of 3. Rise of 1, a run of 3. And that gives me a new point, an x-intercept. 1, 2, 3. That's 6 there. 6, 0. Rise of 1, run of 3. Then I can't go anymore. So I could go down 1, left 3. Down 1, left 3. And we're going to count by 3. So I'm under the 6. Down 1, left 3. So I'm under the 9. And then we would have this as the line. Now I said I was going to graph this twice because I'm going to show you where this is going. I'm showing you how to graph a line because you need to know how to graph a line to graph a system of equations. What if I put this line right here that I just made, what if I picked it up and I moved it to the other graph? And it was at -2, wasn't it? So there's -2. So I just picked it up, moved it over. Where would these two intersect? Where they intersect, and we can zoom in on this, take a closer look at it. You're going to see it's above the gray. It looks like it's right on -4. So I wonder if it's right on -4. Remember, I drew this line off. That's freehand drawing. So what is this point of intersection? You can find that point of intersection. You already know how. You solved you solved an equation. Solving an equation, solving a system of equations, it's fairly simple. If we look at these two equations, this equation is solved for y. So is this one. So it says, hey, y equals -2x plus 8, but y equals 1/3 x minus 2. In a systems of equation, it'll look like this. Sorry. Y equals -2x plus 8. Oh, man, I hate when I do that. Hey, what if I hit undone? There we go. Y equals -2x plus 8, and y equals 1/3 x minus 2. And there might even be a bracket over here showing you that it's a system. There might not. Just two equations next to each other. My point is, we can set these things equal to each other because they're both solved for y. So I can have 1/3 x minus 2 equal to -2x plus 8. I don't like having the fraction, so I'm going to multiply through by 3 and get -6x plus 24 equals x, because 3 times a third is just 1, so 1x, minus 6. So then I could add my 6x, because I moved my x's first. And I get 24 equals 7x minus 6. Then I could add 6 to both sides to move my numbers. So 30 equals 7x. Then I could divide both sides by 7. Turns out that's 4.2. So if we go back and we look, where did these lines cross at? How far over? Well, it's actually on the other side because this was free-handed, not drawn with a line tool. Give me 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the lines using this line drawing up here. So I'm going to make them in green and purple. And we're going to see where they intersect comparing to where my drawn line. So I'll erase. When I erase, it'll only get rid of the blue and the red. And we'll look at where are they crossing at. And one of those was supposed to have been green. Can I make you green? There we go. Make it green. And you can see where they're intersecting is off to the right of 4. So where is that at? It's exactly at 4.2 because we just solved this equation and got 4.2. So now we know what x is. So in our red equation, tempo, you got to get rid of stuff. In the red equation, I got y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So I can just put in the 4.2 if I want. I can also do that on the blue equation, y equals -2, put in the 4.2 plus 8. Let me grab a calculator. So I can do 1/3 times 4.2 minus 2, and I'm going to get negative 0.6 for y. So what happens if I do negative 2 times 4.2 plus 8? This tells me y equals negative 0.4. They should have come out to be the same thing. So now I'm wondering if my fraction of 1/3 using 1/3 is messing it up. So I'm going to go back and try this red one again. Y equals 1/3. I'm going to take it times 30 over 7 minus 2. And I'm going to do the same thing in blue. Y equals negative 2 times 30 over 7 plus 8. Yeah, the 4.2 is a rounded off answer, so we should get a different answer. But if I do 1/3, I know over here, this goes into this, leave me with 10. So 10 over 7 minus 2, and I'm going to get negative 4.7, but I want it as a decimal. So this one is going to tell me, I'm going to write it out to 3 of these this time, negative 0.571. And if I do this in blue, negative 2 times 30 over 7 plus 8, I'm going to get negative 4 over 7, which is, again, y equals negative 0.571. So probably should use 30 over 7 if I can, but I like 4.2 because it's easier to see. But if you put it in, you're going to be off a little. All right. So when you plug in the exact answer, it'll be dead on the same. So what that's saying is this. This system of equations intersects at this point, and that point is 30 over 7, comma, negative 4 over 7. But that doesn't make a lot of sense, so it's basically 4.2 and 0.57. So essentially 4.2, 4.3, and 0.57, negative 0.57. So that's where we're going toward with this. That's why we're showing you how to solve an equation, is to be able to put them on the same graph and then solve it. This is another way. This is what we call substitution. We substituted this stuff for that y right here, made the equal sign, and wrote this stuff down. So this stayed on that side. We substituted this to this side and solved. That's called substitution, which you all can do, and you can solve things just like that. That's what we did in Scale 5. All right, so how do we solve these things? Things that look like this. So one of the things we have to do, that'll work. We want to pick this up and move it to the other side of the equal sign. So we end up with 3y, and we change its sign. It was positive, make it negative, add 6. Then you're going to come through and divide by the b, or what's in front of y. And we end up with an equation that we can all graph, negative 2/3 x plus 2. So now we know our b is 2. Now we know our slope is negative 2 over 3, so down 2, right 3. There's our x-intercept and our y-intercept. Right there they are. Down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. Or up 2, left 3. Up 2, left 3, make sure I'm over 6 there, up 2, and left 3 to get over 9. And then you can freehand this or draw in your line with the line tool to be there. So we change the sign when we move it across. Here, I'm going to pick up negative 4x, move it to the other side to get 5y equals positive 4x now, plus 10. Now I'm going to come through, divide by 5, and I end up with y equals 4/5 x plus 2. So graph it at 2. Well, both those have the same y-intercept. Graph it at 2, then go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right 5, up 4, so that'd be at the very top, right 5, that'd be at the very corner. Because 4 plus 6 is 10, 5 plus 5 is 10. So this is like adding on to your y number and adding on to your x number. So you're at 2. If you subtract 4, you go down to negative 2, and you go left 5. Subtract 4 from negative 2, you go down to negative 6, and go left 5 to get to 10. So then you're at this point. Since these both, if I was to solve this, if I made this a system of equations, my answer would be the intercept 2. They both had a y-intercept at 2. All right, last two questions. 3x minus 2y equals 8. X plus y equals 4. Try to number 9. Try to solve the equation for y and then graph it. So hopefully you paused it. Negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 8. Then you divide by negative 2. And that gives me y equals 3/2 x minus 4. So go down to negative 4. Up 3, right 2. Up 3, right 2. Up 3, right 2. Up 3, right 2. Kind of hard to see. Man, it was getting old. Down 3, left 2. Down 3, left 2. Now we can draw on our line. Ooh. So do you see how this point looks to be off right up here? That point doesn't look like it holds 2. And what I'm looking at is the triangle, the stair step. So are all those stair steps, they look about the same. But then when I go to this stair step, something is off. And what's off is this rise. I went up too high. So I need to redo that. So let's go up 1, 2, 3, right 2. Now the stair step looks correct. Now we can graph our line. So let's look at the purple one. And again, we're going to solve it for, we're going to pick this x up, move it over. So we're going to have y equals negative x plus 4. So now we're going to go ahead and graph that. Plus 4 is up here. Remember, negative x, negative 1 over positive 1. So that's just down and to the right. You'll pick up really quick. Y equals negative x or y equals x is just a diagonal. So to get my dots quicker, I just go along the diagonal from one diagonally down to the next one, diagonally down, or diagonally up. And that would be my line that I would want to draw, preferably with a ruler. That's okay. All right.